Okay. All of this has happened so fast. I have whiplash. I just picked up Hollow Knight, which is a Metroidvania platformer, Souls-like type of game about 2 months ago with no prior knowledge of Silksong or anything pertaining to it. And following my Hollow Knight playthrough, the sequel to this game, Silksong, finally got a release date and is now available to play on pretty much everything. I realized I was a little late to the party. Silksong was originally said to be a DLC to the main game back in 2019, but then later grew into its own game, leading to a much longer duration of development and Hollow Knight's fan base waiting many painful years. But honestly, I'm not mad about it. There are a lot of game devs that have this release now, fix later mentality. And while I understand to a degree why this is done, I can deeply appreciate the time and effort put into a highly anticipated game, leaving players feeling fulfilled and not robbed of time and money. Hollow Knight was a game that I actually played briefly back in 2020, and well, I put it down after a little while due to being so overwhelmed by the world and overall the general combat and gameplay. It's not that I wasn't enjoying myself, it's that your girl didn't know what a Metroidvania was. I saw a cute little guy and some platforms and I thought, oh, this is my jam. So in this video, I'm re-exploring Hollow Knight and giving the game an honest try and personal review, even though it didn't resonate with me in the way I'd hoped it would. Starting with the obvious, Hollow Knight is absolutely gorgeous. It's probably one of the most visually pleasing games I've played, and it was surely captivating. I found the art style to be soft and very detailed, but weirdly comforting. Like, yes, it's gloomy and full of bugs, which I despise in real life. But it's done in a way that feels intentional and mixes well with the game and its story. Every area is a beautiful ruin. The platforms are cracked, and there's moss growing where memory used to live, and yet these bugs keep working. You can buy maps and charms from these cute critters that hum songs like the world isn't falling apart, because same. It's sweet and it's sad, like they're clinging to a routine because it's all they've got left. A big part of the story is told through the environment, and as a person with a lot of feelings, this helped me understand the type of game I was playing. You're basically stitching together pieces of the story by interpretation of the world around you, the poetic riddles that NPCs speak in, and items you may discover that hold some lore. It's the type of game you play many times, and each time feeling more complete than the last. Like maybe you discovered a new area, forgot an NPC, or used a charm that altered your whole gameplay. By the way, has anyone ever played being overcharmed? Because once I found that you take double damage that way, I got right back on my handicapped horse because this game was challenging enough for me. Anyway, Hallownest feels mysterious in a way that makes the player want to lean in and not run away. You want to go deeper, you want to explore and experience, touch, feel, and suck on the world around you because it's so wide and leaves you wanting more. The environment is one of the strongest elements of the game. It's quiet, but it's not empty. You have these signs that can help you navigate the world and different kinds of bugs that give each area its character, like the ones that just straight up bust on you after you hit them. Or worse, explode and take 2 of your hearts. Now let's talk about the user interface, shall we? The UI is just clean. It's not super duper impressive, but it's also not overwhelming, and rightfully so, because that would be annoying. You open the menu and bada bing bada boom. It's simple and easy to read. No flashing icons and none of that weird clutter, and you know what I'm talking about. I love it when a game says, here's your stuff, you know what to do. The charm system is satisfying. Drag little pieces around and you figure out what works for you. It's not complicated and it's personalized. Good for the brain. Don't just upgrade, but choose how you want to play. And the map, oh, the map. You don't get it all at once. You have to find the map guy, Cornifer. Buy it and keep buying it for every area. I'm gonna consider myself a first-time player because this is my first dive through with Hollow Knight, so no. I don't know where I'm going, and I blew Geo on a map with every opportunity that presented itself. It made exploring feel better. You're not fully handed the layout, you get to build as you go. That's cool for some people. A little overwhelming for me, but I'm sure it gets easier. And lastly, the pause screen feels calm. I was actually relieved to find that the pause screen even exists, given one of the game's tags was Souls-like. You know those games don't pause, so you better play on an empty bladder before getting to those bosses. Everything about the UI feels like it respects your time and your brain, and I think it fits the vibe of the game. Yeah. In addition to the beauty of Hollow Knight, the music is synced with the architecture. A big piece of what makes a video game a work of art for me is the music direction or the sound design, and the game does that phenomenally well. You walk into a new area and the sound shifts. Sometimes it's soft and peaceful, like a resting bench is nearby. Sometimes it's tense or eerie, which makes me actually not want to go deeper into an area. And ultimately, it helps you feel the space without telling you exactly what to think. So in a way that's not being totally dramatic, the music is musicking and it sticks with you. Even after you've stopped playing, you'll catch yourself thinking about it, humming it and whatnot. It's part of what makes the game feel lively to me. The music also changes depending on what's happening. You don't really notice it until you do, and then you realize how much it's been guiding you the whole time. Boss fights get intense, but not over the top. Like, the Mantis Lords had such a cool theme. I felt like the music matched their vibes and difficulty perfectly, because they were, in fact, difficult. Speaking of difficulty, that brings me to today's sponsor, Team Cherry. I know, it's crazy. The creators of Hollow Knight have graciously partnered with me to bring you pain. Whether you're getting lost for hours, fighting bosses that make you question your self-worth, or hiking to benches that are somehow always on the other side of the map when you need them, Team Cherry's got you covered. If you want to equip every charm you own, that's just too dang bad. You'll have to find a bug lady and pay her to slightly increase your charm slots, also known as notches. Hollow Knight for the people who think suffering builds character. I'm just kidding, I'm not actually sponsored by anybody. That was just my very professional, very seamless segue into talking about my personal struggles with this game. I even slightly changed my clothes for this, but honestly, someone should sponsor me because that was smooth. Anyway, you can use my code BENCHPLEASE for absolutely nothing because, again, not sponsored. Now into the challenge. Like I mentioned earlier, Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania, which is unlike anything I've played before. Was I captivated by the world and its beauty? Yes. Was I also extremely overwhelmed by the non-linear exploration? Absolutely. Some of you may say, that's what the maps are for. Sure, and I'm grateful for those. However, I think that's something some people really like about Metroidvanias, but I also think it can be something others hate, like myself. I don't know, maybe because this is my first one, but I kind of have a mixed feeling on exploration. I like knowing where to go and having a clear objective that's served up on a silver freaking platter with a fine piece of silverware next to it. It fulfills the feeling of accomplishment for me to completely finish an area and simply move on to the next, but in Hollow Knight there's always more. As you explore deeper, you may gain new abilities that unlock previously inaccessible areas, even in places you've already visited, which means there is a fair amount of backtracking involved. But I think that becomes much easier if you've got the world of Hallownest photographically etched into your brain, and currently I do not. But honestly, I love that for this game. Like, yes, show me more. What did I miss? That said, exploration as a whole was a lot for me. So yeah, the boss fights in Hollow Knight were rough. I only fought a few, but Hornet and the Mantis Lords really tested me. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I banged on my desk, I rage quit multiple times, and I sat there for like 30 minutes just mad. But then I picked it back up and tried again, and I won as I simultaneously yelled, "That's right, you bow down to me," as a victory speech. I had to use every bit of focus and coordination I had. Jumping, dodging, attacking, reacting, it's all happening at once. And the Mantis Lord speeding up when they were near their end, oh, that was brutal, but also kind of cool. You can tell the game was designed to push the player. It's hard, yes, but it's fair. Like, you can't complain. But absolutely, when I finally won, it made me feel rewarded and better each time. More to my point of my challenges. The dang benches. We love the benches, but sadly, they are so far apart, along with some of the shops. Every time I needed to backtrack for a charm repair or to simply swap my charms out, I'd look at my map and say, there's no way I'm making it there with enough geo to actually buy anything. Cause I'd died not once, but twice in different locations, taking that penalty of losing all my money cause I didn't redeem my soul in the same spot I died in before. That's punishing, but I also just suck. Now, I made it to like 4 or 5 notches to place my charms in this playthrough, and I believe you can get up to 11, so I'm sure choosing the right charms becomes easier the longer you play. But with only 4 notches, and most of my charms taking up 2 to 3 notch slots, it wasn't an easy ride trying to get the right build out to play with for the time being. If you want things to get easier, you gotta work hard. I'm talking to myself. But even if I had enough geo to spend for extra notches, they were locked anyway because each notch has a requirement that you've collected a certain number of charms before you can buy it. And well, I only had 7. And I kept breaking one of them, Fragile Heart to be exact. So because I was too broke and afraid to die and break it again, I eventually left the charm off and in its broken state. So here's the part where I gently break some hearts. Hollow Knight is fantastic and it challenged me in all the right ways. The combat's nicely done, the art is beautiful, the music is incredible, and the boss fights made me feel like I was training for the Bug Olympics. I mean, come on. But I did not fall in love with it. And I hate saying that, I really do, because I know how much this game means to people and I get it. For me, something just didn't click. I felt disconnected from the story. I couldn't really make sense of what the NPCs were saying, the lore didn't land, and the environmental storytelling, while gorgeous, kind of just washed over me. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a bad game. Frankly, it's a great game. It was just a lot. And I already felt like I was juggling enough trying to survive. And you know me, I kept waiting for that moment where everything would hit and I'd get chills. But it never came. And I played for what felt like a little while. So maybe it's just not for me, and that's okay. I've accepted that. Maybe I'm just part of the quiet majority who respects Hollow Knight deeply, but don't connect with it the way others do. I have a strong liking for the bit that I did play, and I feel like coming back to it another time with what I know now on a deeper level would be a completely different experience for me. And that's all. No drama, no hot takes. That's just my experience. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I have some fun stuff coming up for the channel this month, so if you want more content like this, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.